All right, so we are back in this edit for Zach and Siobhan. And the goal for today is to put a lot of the B-roll over the storyline that we created. And there's a couple things that I do that I think is helpful in the process of trying to set this thing up. Before we get into color grading and all that sort of thing. Right now, I'm not 100% confident that the way the storyline is laid out is going to be the finished product. But I do know that there are some things that I like to do regardless of where things end up. For example, in the edit here, we've got, it starts with just a very quick line that I really like by the officiant. You'll notice that it's showing the officiant and also right down the center. Also, you'll notice that for whatever reason, it's a little bit crooked. I can fix that pretty quick. But I've got all three cameras here set up. Of course, that light, they had this LED spotlight that was just crazy, so I'll have to spend some time on that. But they're all there, and typically I won't just show this. I mean, it's 12 seconds long. I'm not going to just show that as the intro. But it's really there for the story, for the opening segment of the story. And then after that, you'll notice that there's the groom reading his letter, the bride reading her letter way down here. Oh, just kidding, more of the ceremony. The bride reading her letter, and then so forth. So, I mean, we're still at, 6 minutes, and there's zero reception here. So lots to work with. This part by this toast by the dead is phenomenal, so we'll have to find a good spot for it. So what I know is that whenever I'm having the groom read their letter, I'm going to put overlay of bride prep. And reason is that, he's reading her words. So to me, it's kind of cool to show the person who was writing these letters to kind of show, almost as if she was speaking it. Obviously, the groom is speaking it. And then I'll do the opposite here as well. I don't do a timeline from start to finish that is, early in the morning to the end. I like to mix it all up. It to me is kind of cool. And I feel like you're almost spoiling the ending by showing the bride and groom, but that's the way I like to do it. So over the top of this first part will end up being more things that are them one-on-one. And then when it gets to the groom, I'll show more of the bridal prep. When it's the bride reading the letter, I'll show some of the groom prep as well. So let's kind of get into that. But before too long, I just want you to see this, and I'm going to show you why these are kind of chopped up here. But just have a listen for a second.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife.
That by itself is actually not terrible as far as timing goes. What he's saying is awesome, but it's a little bit fast, especially for the beginning of the film where the music is slower, it's more cinematic. I want it to be chopped up. But this next part, you can see it's just like, man, I wish he would have taken his time.
Becoming your wife means so much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your thoughts with, the one that will always love you deeply.
So it's too choppy for me. So what I would rather do is I'd rather put some placeholders in there. So this is where it was, and I just grabbed these little custom blocks up here just from the generator. I just get solid, throw it down there and cut it up. But just listen to the pacing of it. It's a little bit slower. I kind of like it.
Zach, Today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your thoughts with, the one that you know will always love you deeply, the one...
See how, like, at the end of that sentence there is a pause. The cadence in what he's saying is a pause. So it's not like I'm making it artificial. Of course, you can hear him breathing a little bit at the end of each sentence. We'll go in and we'll fix the audio. But it's like a natural pause that I wish that he actually took. So by putting these spaces in here, it actually affords me the ability to not only create that cadence where it is more methodical, it is a little bit more the way that you would give some kind of speech or presentation, but it affords it to go a little bit longer as well. Obviously, I'm going to have things on top of that, so it's not like, you know, a strobe light or whatever, the way that this looks. So that's another thing, another tip that I really like doing. I like it to kind of follow with the music as well, which you'll see as we go through the edit. So let's start it from the beginning and start plopping in some good B-roll over here.
Home is not where you are from, it is where you belong. Some of us travel the whole world to find it.
So I like, you know, where he says, some of us travel the whole world to find it. I personally would like it to be one-on-one. So here we go to the couple one-on-one. I like this shot, but I kind of like it a little bit later. So typically I like to see something a little bit more stoic. And I know this was shot in 60 frames per second, so I always know in the back of my mind that I can slow it down if I need to. Be nice if I could do, yeah, that, and then her, hopefully, without the photographer's arm in the way. The photographer's my wife, so I can say that. Oh, good. But I hope she doesn't talk the whole time. All right, I think we can make it work. So let's see. Let's get just that portion. Probably prefer a walking shot too, so.
Some of us travel the whole world to find it.
So that's kind of nice. Great thing is just by taking little pieces here, stretching it out, you can always use the T tool and scrub a little bit forward or a little bit backward. Okay, good. So there's a moment where she's not talking, she's blinking a little bit, but that's okay. We'll grab it. All right, so let's see what this looks like. Now, because I shot in 60 frames per second, I know that I can slow it down to 40%, just because the way the frame rates are. I have a whole video on that, so feel free to watch that.
Some of us travel the whole world to find it. Others find it in a person. You two have found home in...
That might have to be faster.
...each other, and I believe you two are ready to walk.
So let's see.
It is where you belong. Some of us travel Some of us travel the whole world to find it. Some of us travel the whole world to find it. Others find it in a person. You two have found home in each other, and I believe you two.
So for me, I actually really, really, really like making changes on the beat. And I really listen to it. But if you look at the music, you can see the next downbeat of the music is right here. You can see there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. So you can, if you kind of watch both, you can see it change on the beat. Boom, boom, right there. So I usually go back and clean it up, but I get it pretty close, let it render, and then move on to the next thing. That's pretty much what I do. Yeah, I had a bite out of it. Sorry. When we edit together, we order food, and then I usually just eat whatever my wife ordered. It's a love bite. It's a love bite, babe. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. But I want more one-on-one. Some night stuff. One of the troubles that we had with this wedding is it was so cold outside that honestly we didn't get a ton of one-on-one. I kind of wish he wasn't standing like that. So, gotta play with what we've got here. That's a beautiful shot. That's gonna work great down the road. A little getting ready shot for him. One tip that I have when shooting is, you get a little bit of the bride, and then the photographer is going to want to slip in there, so just move on to the groom. Just get a couple seconds of whatever they're doing. And that way you're kind of maximizing time. So, a lot more stuff here that could be thrown in. I'm positive there's some walking parts here. Oh, that's cool. That could work. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of good stuff here. My girls. I'm not seeing a ton of walking parts. I like that.
You two have found home in each other, and I believe you two are ready to walk.
I wish I hadn't been so high that I'm chopping their heads off, but... And that's a good second shot, so it's good enough.
You two have found home in each other. You two have found home in each other, and I believe you two are ready to walk in this new life together.
Zach.
I'm gonna build a little space in there.
Some of us travel the whole world to find it. Others find it in a person. You two have found home in each other, and I believe you two are ready to walk in this new life together.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife.
So what I like to do here with this little bit of extra space is let's take a look at the bride prep and usually just get some of the talking One thing I'll say is that hotel rooms are usually not great. You can tell the lighting, it's a little yellow, a little not perfect. We like to get right in front of the window just simply because it looks better. So you can see how much more blue this is. And that's what we like. We like to see that. Most color grading is pretty warm, pretty tungsten. So if we shoot a little bit on the blue side, totally fine. Not a big deal.
All right, I'll tell you, but not right now.
Okay. You would be standing here for like a little while, so.
Let's listen to some of the things that are said. Yeah, having music on is,
Like older dad.
yeah, not the best.
The only thing I was honestly, I don't look at
For the toasts?
hands off to, oh, what's that movie?
Oh. I'm excited.
The
for
last
that.
one. Like, oh no. It was pretty bad. Like one almost like. So natural.
Oh. Oh boy.
I love it.
So this is nice. I like a little bit of this. So let's do this maybe instead of that. Let's see how it plays. I like this shot, but I like that there's movement here, actually putting on some makeup. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's the beginning of that. Just like doing that just so it's continuous.
Besides, I mean, I take my time, so.
So that's a good spot. So let's see.
Together.
Besides, I mean, I take my time, so.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become.
Oh, I forgot I put this up.
So, you would be standing.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your thoughts with, the one that you know will always love you deeply, the one that you can count on to support your dreams, and the one who will be by your side no matter what. I will never stop choosing you today and every day as my husband, best friend, and partner through this crazy life.
Okay.
I take my time, so. I mean, I take my time, so you would be standing.
So what I think I want to do.
You would be standing here.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever.
You would be standing here.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two.
Okay.
Besides, I mean, I take my time, so you would be standing here.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our.
Let's see. How much further does this go?
You would be standing
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever.
Oops.
Zach, today marks the beginning.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to play with that. Let's see what I like. Unfortunately, because this break is, I don't get a good intro into him, but we'll see what we can do.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day. Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever.
Oh, I really like that. Good. I like that I went in for a second angle there.
Today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I be. Today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I.
Lots of details. If I need it, I'll go back. Okay, so then they brought her into the other room to do some hair. Honestly, I don't want to use it.
Become one, and the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so much. And the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your. And the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so much to me, more than. Much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your thoughts with. The one that you know will always love you deeply. The one that you can count on to. The one that you know will always love you deeply. The one that you can count on to support you.
Oh, you know what else I usually do before even getting into the girl detail stuff is details. Let's get some of these detail shots in there as well. I don't know how much movement or motion I have. I actually like that quite a bit. That's a pretty cool shot too. It's not very stable though. Well, that's a bummer. It's not a very stable shot.
Today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that these are important to her. Oh, we can try it.
Beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so.
So one of the reasons that I shoot this stuff in slow motion is simply because you're moving pretty fast. You can get jittery, and so sometimes that helps stabilize the shots a little bit by doing that.
Zach, today marks.
I'd actually like to see that
Besides,
one.
I mean, I take my time, so it would be standing here.
That's good. Okay. So that stuff is there when I need it.
Today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife.
So all this stuff is in there. And that stuff at the bottom is really just helping with the storyline. And that's great. Kind of like that. Took the dress outside for some shots, a couple other details in there, but not a ton. Oh, and then that says it's on. Okay.
Means so much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your thoughts with, the one that you know will always love you deeply, the one that you can count on to support your dreams, and the one who will be by your side no matter what. I will never stop choosing you today.
Oh, I like that. Look at that. You get some snowflakes there. That's good. Good job, self. It's just for a brief second that it's there. Hopefully this was... Oh, it was shot in 4K, so I can't slow it down. Darn you, Sony.
And every day, as my husband, best friend, and partner through this crazy life.
Well, it's great. It's long enough that it works. I think the hard part was about this dress is that it was so dainty that you don't get to see, you know, the fullness of it. Is this, that was shot in 4K as well.
Fateful journey that brought us to one another was a dream come true, a dream that I didn't even realize I had till we locked eyes over a lot. Fateful journey that brought us to one another was a dream come true, a dream that I didn't even realize I had till we locked. That brought us to one another was a dream come true. Quote by Paul Celo states, was a dream come true, a dream that I didn't even realize I had till.
Let's see. Okay, so hanger, shoes, we need a full length shot. Or at least be able to see more of the dress. Let's get a little bit there.
Realize I had till we locked eyes over lattes and basil pressers. You know we'll always love you.
Okay.
Brought us to one another. Eyes over lattes and basil pressers. A quote by Paul Celo states, "So I love you because the entire universe conspired to help me find you." And I think that perfectly explains our story and connection. We met by fate, and I know we were meant for one another. I'm infinitely thankful for this worldly life, knowing that I get to spend it with you as your wife, your best friend, and the mama to our babies one day. Your hand fits perfectly in mine, and your heart has become a part of mine. I will be behind you for the good moments, and in front of you for the bad moments. You are my solace when the crazy world defeats me, my safety when I feel fearful, my happiness when I triumph, and my comfort when uneasiness overwhelms me.
So what I like about this is he talks about holding hands.
Perfectly in mine.
I mean, again, jumping around here, but if I go back to couple one-on-one, look at that. Hand fits perfectly into mine. A lot of times this works as a good thumbnail as well.
We'll do it in slow motion.
Yeah, we will, and we did. Let's see how that works. And actually, this is a great spot for the first look. Yeah, there's a dad first look too, which is excellent. Oh, good. That's perfect. That's more couple stuff that I wanted. Oh, fantastic. That looks great. So one of the things I really like is getting shots before they see each other. So you can see she's in focus there, he's not, and we switch it up.
Zach's like, come on, dude, for real.
So this moment where he says something about, "You'll have my back." Again, this probably seems insane, a little bit crazy, but this is my process. You know, I throw the best clips out there. Some people, what they do is they'll start and they'll just go through all of their footage and just place the best stuff. Maybe that's a great way to do it. I like to, I mean, you can tell right here that there's things that are said that I think draws a little bit more attention to the images. So that's why I like to start with that audio part. But
Spend it with you as
to
your
each
wife,
their own.
your best friend, and the mama to our babies one day. Your hand fits perfectly in mine, and your heart has become a part of mine. I will be behind you for the good moments.
So what's great is you can even end it there.
Perfectly in mine, and your heart has become a part of mine. I will be behind you for the good moments, and in front of you for the bad moments. I will be behind you for the good moments, and in front of you for the bad moments. You are my solace when the crazy world defeats me, my safety when I feel fearful, my happiness when I triumph, and my comfort when uneasiness overwhelms me.
A few weeks ago, I asked Zach what he loves so much about Siobhan. He said she makes me laugh, and being able to have fun and play around enriches our relationship. I've learned that she means everything to me. She makes me smile, she comforts me, and she even makes Jersey Shore episodes sound not so quite awful to watch.
So the other thing that's kind of cool, I think I mentioned this before, but with a music bed subscription, you can grab both the instrumental and then also the actual lyrical portion of video. What's hard in the first track for me, in the first bit of the video, first bit of the film, is I like to have a lot of audio spoken. This is a great song with a really good message and great lyrical undertones, so I'm gonna have to find a way, probably have more of it said as the ceremony itself is happening. So I'll have to think about that. But all right, so we kind of have our first part set up-ish. Got to put it in a certain way. I would just want it to have a good flow.
Oh. Music on that one. Besides, I take my time, so it would be standing there.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your thoughts with, the one that you know will always love you deeply, the one that you can count on to support your dreams, and the one who will be by your side no matter what. I will never stop choosing you today and every day as my husband, best friend, and partner through this.
Yeah, it's obviously too long.
Through this crazy life. The fateful journey that brought.
Yeah, I gotta figure out that one. I need more bride prep. What else is in here? Okay, so this is one she has the dress on. That's really pretty. A little dark, but throw that in there. Anything where she's smiling is fantastic. Oops. I should not have done all of this in 4K because I can't really slow it down.
Perfume too. Yeah. Rubbing your wrists together before your bracelet. Okay. Now can you just?
Here's here.
Oh, I kind of like that. Looking straight at me while she's doing it. That might be one we do as well.
We can get a different angle here.
I don't usually like shoe shots or feet shots. I'll do it if we need to, but so these are good shots for when she's kind of checking herself out. All of this is just extra detail shots if we need it. It's a nice shot. I like this one better. Here I'm using a portion of the wall. It's kind of like a stylistic thing. But I don't think I realize I'm shooting in 4K. Yep. Look at that. Fantastic. All right, so that's a lot of detail.
It looks
Oh,
gorgeous.
wow, babe.
Okay. Veil time? Oh yeah, wait. Where? Oh, here's your girl. Okay. I will grab the box. I'll just kind of.
I don't know if that silhouette works. Okay. Let's see if we can get a nice progression here.
Besides, I mean, I take my time.
So I think what I'm going to do is start here.
New life together.
Don't want it to come in blasting. So right there, I think I actually want him speaking. So let's move that over. Oops. Oops. Shoot, what's the command to reattach? Control? No. Oh, that's not it. Command? Option command. There it is. Option command allows it to be attached to a new clip so it won't fall away.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our...
Oh, except this needs to go over here first. Maybe we can get rid of that.
Besides, I mean, I take my time, so.
Zach,
Besides, I mean, I take my time, so.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your thoughts with, the one that you know will always love you deeply, the one that you can count on to support your dreams, and the one who will be by your side no matter what. I will never stop choosing you today and every day as my husband, best friend, and partner through this crazy life.
Yeah, I gotta do something differently with this clip.
No matter what. I will never stop choosing you today and every day as my husband, best friend, and partner through this crazy life. The fateful journey that brought us to one another was a this crazy life. The fateful journey that brought us to one another was a
Might not even need this clip.
dream come true, a dream.
Let's go back here. It's a cool angle, but oh, I like that we made her do it again. Oops.
I had till we locked eyes over lattes and
Go quicker.
I had till we locked eyes over lattes and vasopressors.
So I kind of want that to be open because he laughs. And it's kind of a cute part, so.
Every day as my husband, best friend, and partner through this crazy life. The fateful journey that brought us to one another was a dream come true, a dream that I didn't even realize. I had till we locked up.
I don't need that clip.
Even realize I had till we locked eyes over lattes and vasopressors. Or lattes and vasopressors. A quote by Paul, a dream that I didn't even realize I had till we locked eyes over latte. even realize I had till we locked eyes over lattes and basil pressers. A quote.
See, and I can make that pause a little bit longer because he paused naturally. I think that's what I'm going to do. So what was cool is that if I stop all of this, see how it says 39? This says 35. That's because this was the original. So that's his original reaction. But again, remember that basically what I was saying is that it was really rushed. It was a little bit quick. And so by having him do a portion of it a second time, I can actually, because the audio should be the same volume, same pretty much everything, I can kind of take both of those takes and really put it in a way that makes the most amount of sense for this film. So it's, in essence, it looks like this.
I had till we locked eyes over lattes and basil pressers. A quote by Paul Celos.
So if you don't see the parts before it, you have no idea that it's a different take. So I just like that little trickery. Let's see where we at for time. Okay.
Till we locked eyes over lattes and basil pressers. A quote by Paul Celos states,
Oh, you can see I changed my shutter speed real quick. See how it's lighter and then darker? So let's move this a little bit. Could have used my T tool, but...
A quote by Paul Celos states, so I love you because the entire universe... So I love you because the...
So you start to get out of that clip. Let's T it.
So I love you because the entire universe conspired to...
Okay, so what am I going to do here? So we're helping her with the dress. All right, let's get some earring shots, but which one do I like the best?
Because the entire universe conspired to...
And if that's all I'm using...
Because the entire universe conspired to...
That looks a little more natural. That's not the best. That's funny, though. I kind of like it. It's a different shot.
Because the entire universe conspired to help me find you. And I think that perfectly explains our story and connection. We met by... And connection. We met by fate, and We met by fate, and... Story and connection. We met by fate, and I know we were meant for one another. We met by fate, and I know we were meant for one another. I'm infinitely thankful for this worldly life, knowing that I get to spend it with you. To spend it with you as your wife, your best friend, and the mama to our babies one day. Your hand fits. To spend it with you as your wife, your best friend.
And 110. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. This is a good, like, all right, we got our stuff packed up, let's get out of here kind of shot. Use it someplace else.
Wife, your best.
All right, let's kind of see what we got here.
Home is not where you are from, it is where you belong. Some of us travel the whole world to find it, others find it in a person. You two have found home in each other, and I believe you two are ready to walk in this new life together.
Besides, I take my time, so.
Zach, today marks the beginning of our forever, the day when two families become one, and the day that I become your wife. Becoming your wife means so much to me, more than just the ring on my finger, but being the one that you can share your thoughts with, the one that you know will always love you deeply, the one that you can count on to support your dreams, and the one who will be by your side no matter what. I will never stop choosing you today and every day as my husband, best friend, and partner through this crazy life. The fateful journey that brought us to one another was a dream come true, a dream that I didn't even realize I had till we locked eyes over lattes and vasopressors. A quote by Paul Celos states, "So I love you because the entire universe conspired to help me find you." And I think that perfectly explains our story and connection. We met by fate, and I know we were meant for one another. I am infinitely thankful for this worldly life, knowing that I get to spend it with you as your wife, your best friend, and the mama to our babies one day. Your hand fits perfectly in mine.
So, that change isn't great.
Best friend. Knowing that I get to spend it with you as your wife, your best friend, and the mama to our babies one day.
That should change right there. Let's see if that makes it too
And the
long.
mama to our babies one day. Your hand fits perfectly in mine, and your heart has become a part of.
That was perfect.
And your heart has become a part of mine. I will be behind you for the good moments, and in front of you for the bad moments. You are my solace when the crazy world.
Yeah, that's still something that can be used somewhere.
I will be behind you for the good moments, and in front of you for the bad moments. You are my solace when the crazy world defeats me, my safety when I feel fearful, my happiness when I triumph, and my comfort when uneasiness.
Okay. All right, well, I mean, we've just spent about an hour on really setting up this section. We're about 2 minutes into the film. I mean, there's some timing issues. There's some things that I really need to go back and take a look at and make sure that it fits just right. But, you know, for me, the more specific and detailed I get at the beginning, the more annoyed I get later when I just go and mess with the timeline. So I think I'm using pretty much the best of the detail and the bride prep. So I think we'll stop here and we'll pick up with Siobhan's letter read. We'll do some of the guy prep over that. And it's a little bit shorter, but we'll go into some of the ceremony things, probably the first look a little bit more than what's there. In fact, I think the first look will probably go over what the next part is in the ceremony leading into Siobhan's letter, so we'll get to that and a whole lot more. This has been good. It's been fun. It's kind of interesting going through my process when, you know, for me, my process changes quite often. But I'm really liking this, and I hope that you find some value in it. So we will just pick up next time. Thanks for watching.